Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is not your first time, and if this is your first time here, I'm the Fat Greek. This is my Traeger journey. We're gonna start by cooking on this Traeger today. I've never cooked on a pellet grill smoker, so you can learn with me. We can do this together and it's gonna be epic. We're making something super delicious. This video is gonna be purely educational. We're gonna learn together and it's gonna be an epic experience. Just gonna take my trusty sujahiki and go cut. I've got this beautiful ribeye roast that we got from Country Meats in Morningside. We really appreciate your support. We're gonna cook this exactly like we would cook any barbecue. So we're gonna take it up to temperature, we're gonna add some tallow, and then we're gonna wrap it. And once it's at 95 degrees Celsius or 203 degrees Fahrenheit, we're gonna take it off, we're gonna rest it, and then we're gonna pull it to make our lasagna pockets. I know it's gonna taste delicious. It's a bit of a long cook, but that's okay. We've got time, we're relaxing together, and now we're gonna just cut this in half and we're gonna start spicing it and get it on our Traeger. I just wanna unwrap this. I don't wanna cook this whole thing because it's 2 kilos and it's too much, and I don't like wasting meat. So I'm gonna just put half of it in the freezer and then the rest of it we're gonna cook right now. And let's just get this plastic off. I'm gonna cut this in half because I reckon we're gonna use about 1 kilo. So I'll just cut this in half. And then I'm gonna put the other kilo aside for freezing. So there's a lot of people who believe that you need to use a binder for your meat, and that's not the case. If it's got a lot of water retention, you don't need to use a binder. So I'm gonna not use a binder for this. I'm using Salty Licks rub from Texas, and I'm just gonna pat this dry so that it doesn't crisp up, and we're gonna just get this spiced up. I'm just gonna pat this dry. When putting your rub on your meat, go from high so that you get even coverage all over the meat and just get it all spiced up. I want to get this spiced up from top to bottom, so don't be shy to waste. Remember guys, don't rub your meat, just pat it so that the rub doesn't come off. You want it as even as possible. Just going to do the bottom side now. I would like to get all the edges. I've got my ribeye roasts all spiced up, ready to go. I'm gonna fire up the pits, the Traeger, and we can smoke this bad boy. Traeger is known to have the best wood pellets in the game. They've given us their signature blend to try out, which I'm really excited about. I'm gonna add it to the Traeger grill, get this pit fired up, and we're gonna get started with the ribeye steak. I'm gonna add about 4 kilos of pellets. I've got my signature blend wood chips which I'm ready to go with, and I'm going to fire up this pit and get this nice and smoky hot. I've watched a lot of videos on how to start this. I'm going to let it smoke for about 15 minutes and then I'm going to take it up to 135 degrees Celsius, warm up the pit, and we're going to put our meat on it. I'm going to open this up, I'm going to turn this on, put it to smoke mode, and I'm going to let this heat up until we've got a lot of smoke coming out the chamber, and then I'm going to take it to 135. I've got my probe that's connected to my Traeger. There's a cool little hole here, so I'm going to stick this in so I know what temperature we're running throughout the cook. I'm all smoky, I'm all smoky. You can see all the beautiful smoke coming out. It's smelling delicious. Once this is ready, we'll hit up the heat and we'll start cooking that ribeye. Take this to 135. This is the thing, my friends. This is at 135 degrees Celsius, which is 275 Fahrenheit. I don't have to do any fire management, coal management, none of the above. That drum smoker that I personally can't stand because you have to go to it every 20 minutes and worry about the fire, I don't have to do this. This is at the temperature. We're gonna put the meat in, I'm gonna probe it, and I'm gonna get it up to temp. I'm going to put my meat away from the hottest part so that we can get good crust on it, good bark, and I'm going to put the fat aside closer to the heat. The Pro 22 comes with 2 slots for 2 probes, so I've got one there, and I'm going to stick this one in so we can monitor the temperatures. Now I'm just going to close this, and we're going to smoke this bad boy. We've gone into the night time. It's been cooking for about 3.5 hours. I'm at 75 degrees Celsius, which is about 170 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm looking to get it out at 180 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 82 degrees Celsius. I reckon it's got about another half an hour to go. I'm gonna take it out. We're gonna wrap it. I'm gonna add some beef tallow, and I think it's looking amazing. I wanted to show you a bit of a progress report so you can see what we're doing. You can see how the fat is rendering nicely, and it's just looking good. So come have a look. It really is looking delicious. This piece of meat is going to be incredible. Once we've wrapped it, once all the fat is rendered here nicely, you can see the color of the fat here. It's looking beautiful. I'm at temperature. I'm at 82 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to take it out and I'm going to wrap it. I've got my water. I'm going to make this just a tiny bit more malleable, and I'm going to add my meat here so that I can wrap it with a little bit of tallow, and we're going to let that fat render just that little bit extra, and then it's going to make it really tender. So I've got my meat here, which I'm going to put here. Okay, let's just move this. And then I've got beef tallow, which I'm going to just add. I actually bought this beef tallow from Eland Butchery, and yeah, let's just add just a little bit here. I'm just going to put this on top, and then I'm going to start my wrapping process. And now I'm just going to wrap it. So you want to wrap this nice and tight. So I'm going to do it over here like that. I'm going to tuck this in over here. Tuck this in over here. And the secret here is getting it nice and tight. So you can see it's just easier to work with now that it's wet. And then I'm going to wrap it. And then wrap it, and then I've got my probe from Traeger that's into this grill, so I'm going to put this back in. I'm going to slightly increase the temperature, so this is 135 that it's on set to, so I'm going to take it up to 148, which is 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and hopefully get it up to temperature a little bit quicker. I've got my probe in the meat. It's on P2, which is probe 2. It's hit 95 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to put this onto shutdown, which is there. I'm going to let it shut down, and I'm going to take the meat off and rest it. I'm going to let this meat rest for about an hour. I want to bring the temperature down and let all those juices flow back into the protein, and then I'll cut it, and we're going to continue the cook tomorrow. I've let this rest for the last hour, and it really is imperative to let your meat rest. When you cook meat, all the liquid goes into the middle of the meat because of the shock of the heat, and when you let it rest, it lets all that liquid flow back into the protein, into the meat, and it really does get nice and juicy and nice and tender. So I'm going to cut this with you. We're going to see how we did with this ribeye on the smoker, and let's see how it turned out. This smells really delicious. This beef tallow is going to make it nice and juicy. Let's unwrap this together. Look how beautiful this piece of meat looks. I hope it's delicious. It smells incredible. Let's cut into this bad boy. I'm gonna add my meat. I'm using cowboy candy that we made, which is like a sugary jalapeno, and it's absolutely delicious. I'm gonna add my cowboy candy, some grated cheddar cheese. I'm adding my favorite cream cheese. And lastly, I'm using Texas barbecue sugar rub from Meat Church. And just to mix this all in together, get this all incorporated. Now that it's mixed up, I'm just going to add some barbecue sauce into it. Now I'm just going to mix this in. I'm going to add my sheets of lasagna and cook until soft. I'm just going to lay my lasagna sheets down. Okay, let's leave it there. I'm just going to add my mixture to this lasagna, and I'm gonna make it as flat as I can. Now I'm just gonna roll these up and get them ready for the smoker. I'm gonna wrap these with streaky bacon and go 2 per. I'm gonna wrap this. I'm gonna finish this off with some barbecue rub before we put it in the smoker. Look at how beautiful these have turned out. They're looking incredible. Let's go taste them. There we go. Okay. This was an incredible cook. I'm really excited to try this. I think it's gonna taste so nice. And I really have been waiting the whole day to try this. Cheers, everybody. My friends, if you want to buy a Traeger or any Traeger products, be sure to check out traegershop.co.za. All the links will be in the description below. You can use the promo code FATGreek and you can get 15% discount. It's not limited to an amount of times. They really are incredible products. I've been trying to learn how to smoke for a while. Fire management takes up time. You sit for 12 to 16 hours every 20-30 minutes working on the fire. With this, it's plug and play. You leave it, it cooks, and it works out perfectly every time. Be sure to check out traegershop.co.za. Using this Traeger was an incredible experience. It's only my first cook. There's going to be a lot of amazing stuff that we're cooking. You know the Fat Greek always brings you something different. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've stayed till the end, thank you so much. Be sure to like and subscribe. It shows a bit of support and it really does help my channel. I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching and keep on cooking, you beautiful people.